Hello to you all, pastoral Ken and chaplainry. Well, it is no doubt known and famous that most of us can go into our jobs, whether it's retail or sales or business or computers, and many other jobs which require only our logical mind to operate. But jobs and work and career which you have to use your heart all the time and full time are very, very challenging. You have to manage and handle other people's problems. Whether a patient is under duress now and is suffering from a terminal illness, or whether people do not know how to get out of this situation, whether the patient is dying, whether his family and his relatives, close relatives, do not know what to do. The uncertainty, the doubts, and the challenges are so great that they do not know how to cope. And that's where we first and foremost we need, for the first step, emotional intelligence, which means how do you put intelligence into emotion? This is a misnomer, this is a paradigm, this is a paradox. How do we instill logical intelligence into my feelings, which are really not intelligent at all? This is the art of living. This requires patience. It requires listening to the heart. It requires listening to other people. It requires acquiring a new set of skills of the language of the heart. How do you include other people? How do you become sensitive to others? How do you inculcate in your mind and you really do care and feel and love other people which their loves are not yours? How do you go into a subject like this and an hour later you have to go somewhere else to a different kind of patient where your first patient unfortunately died because he was of old age and you have to let go? Because if you hold this inside you all the time, people cannot inculcate and survive such a load of emotion and commitment. Well, that is also the difference between the emotional intelligence of sympathy and empathy. Empathy means that you feel so much with the other that you cannot disengage from other people's and other emotions. This is terribly wrong in that kind of profession. You have to be sympathetic, which means I have to care for other people, feel the pain, share the pain, but nevertheless stay apart from them to be able to help them and pull them towards me. Because if I'll be with them, they'll take me into this whirlpool of emotions which I'll never be able to get out of. So chaplainry and dealing with bereavement, dealing with sick people, and there's so many around the world, especially now with the terrible coronavirus, is a real challenge of an occupation which requires us to really stretch ourselves and extend ourselves to learn the language of the heart. But that is where we find God. That is where we find compassion. This is where we start to emulate God, because what God wants from us is our hearts, our compassion, our sensitivity to others, our ability to feel for other people and speak the language of the heart. It only comes from humility, from the place where you put yourself on the side, being humble, and see the other person's issues at the center of the world. And for now, for the time being where you are engaged with them, they are the center. And sometimes people learn the topic from the book, but the real issue is learning it from experience and going ourselves through our own trials and tribulations, successfully managing and handling our heart, developing emotional intelligence in our life. And it's not far fetched. Everyone has got a partner, or children, or relatives, or elderly parents that they have to take care of, or elderly grandparents that we had to deal with, or see they're dying, or they're suffering, or the illness. And we see the news around the world with the corona, and then we can come to start and see the other. Start to feel with our heart. Start to think, how do I say it? If your mouth speaks whatever you think, that's not emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence starts where you do not speak, when you put a mask on your mouth and you let the thought go through your mind and think, what am I going to filter out? Which words am I going to use? How am I going to create a bond and elevate the other person and bring it in such a way to make them in a positive way, elevate them and develop them rather than crush them or break the spirit or create a discord. I invite you all to this incredible journey of the language of the heart, which is a real challenge for me as well it is for all of us, especially now around the world where so many people are sick, where so many people are dying. So this is the subject that we should all learn from now. God bless you all.